We've been telling you that we're about to tell you about food inflation and how it is affecting restaurants. How do you balance what the consumer can pay with what you have to pay as a business owner? Joining us now is Scott Colosi. He's the president of Texas Roadhouse, a chain of 357 restaurants. He joins us live from Louisville, Kentucky this morning. Welcome to In Business.
Yeah, good morning, Margaret.
Scott, what are you seeing from your consumer base?
Well, we've actually had pretty good sales results all year. Our same-store sales through the first 10 months of the year or so have been up over 4%. And so definitely consumers have been willing to spend money at Texas Roadhouse. We think largely because we've been very protective of the value, of the amount of food we put on the plate, our price points, and also our service levels.
Well, your average check is, I believe, a little over $14. That consumer is going to be paying more in the new year, right? You're raising prices?
Well, we're going to raise prices a little bit. We've got a lot of food inflation, 7 to 9% food inflation next year. We've been testing a 2% price increase, so we're not going to increase our prices anywhere close to inflation. And we're going to take a little bit of short-term pain, but be very protective of the long-term health of our business and the proposition that we put forth to the guests.
Well, I know Credit Suisse, an analyst there, was concerned and changed his outlook on your company's stock because of that price increase. He said, inflation the size of Texas, pricing the size of Rhode Island right now. There is concern about being able to pass along those costs. Why are you confident that a 2% increase is something the customer can handle?
Well, we think it's very reasonable. We think it's very consistent with the industry. The industry remains very, very competitive, very, very price point conscious, but inflation is a reality in our business. A couple things that we're not going to do, even though we have all this inflation, we're not going to cheapen any of our food ingredients, we're not going to reduce any portion sizes, we're not going to change any of our labor standards. What we are going to do is we're going to continue to be very active in our local communities and building great relationships with our communities and our guests. We're going to continue to work on our speed and how fast we prepare our food and how fast we manage our long wait times in our restaurants. In some restaurants, we're going to add some seats to them and drive more traffic through the business that way. And all those little things help us to keep our prices very competitive.
Well, I know, Scott, that in the past, Texas Roadhouse has tried to, hedge, essentially, in the marketplace some of the products that you bring in, the meats and other agricultural products. Are you doing more or less of that?
We're doing similar levels consistent with what we've done in years past. It's definitely changed over the years. It used to be pretty easy, sign a contract with a supplier and sometimes one supplier, and now we typically have multiple suppliers for different ingredients and different pricing structures, some fixed throughout the year, some that float, some with floors and ceilings on prices. So it's really a compilation of different strategies.
Now, I know other retailers, other restaurants have been looking at accepting food stamps because of that customer base really being under so much pressure right now. Are you going to do that, accept food stamps?
We haven't even talked about it. Really, the average income for folks that come in our restaurants is a bit higher. I think food stamps is much less of an issue for us, and we haven't even talked about it.
Okay, because I know some like Yum Brands have talked about that. What's your projection for the new year?
Well, we're very bullish on our concept. Again, we've got a lot of momentum in our sales. We believe we're doing the right things for the long-term health of the business and bringing people back, again, protecting the quality of our food and our labor standards and giving great service. And we haven't touched any of those things over the years that served us well. And so we've got a lot of confidence in our business. So we're going to open 25 restaurants next year in the U.S. on top of 20 this year. So we're feeling very good about what we're doing right now.
All right, Scott, thanks for making time.
Okay, you're welcome. Take care, Margaret.
Scott Colosi, president there of Texas Roadhouse.